1.
All right. My name is Davis Bennett. This is my note card.
Great.
Audience.
Grandparents via Zoom. Sister, dad,
Mother.
and go.
Do you have trouble getting a perfectly cooked meat or steak or fish, chicken, anything really? I have a solution for you. It's called Sous Vide, and it's a new way of cooking relatively in the world. It was made in the 1970s, and as far as cooking ways go, that's really new. I cook dinner at least once a week, and whenever I make steak or fish or meats, I usually use the sous vide machine. It takes more time, but if you have the time, I would totally recommend it. So, starting off, we're going to talk about what you need, how much it costs, and what it looks like to sous vide cook just normally. This is a sous vide machine. They're normally cylinders like this. Some of them are wider and more cylinder. They're normally this shape, and they usually have the stuff on the top, the timer and the heat and stuff. And you put them in a water bath. It looks like this, in a pot or a tub. And you put like vacuum sealed or something or meat in a Ziploc bag in the water. And you can control the heat. And some of them, the more advanced one, you can control on your phone. You can Bluetooth them and connect them to apps. These are some examples of prices and sous vide machines. You can get a okay one, I guess, at Walmart for like $80. You can get a pretty good one online. You can connect to your phone for $200, or you can get a really super fancy one if you, I guess, needed that for $400. But I just used the middle one. Now, moving on to some examples of some meats that you would cook and how they would look. These are some steaks. Steaks are really easy to cook in there. You put them in for about an hour and a half at around 130 degrees. And you come out with perfect medium rare cooked steaks. You can cook them at a lower temperature or higher temperature depending on how well done you want them or how rare you want them. And you'll get perfectly cooked steaks every time. The only way you can really mess this up is if you cook it too long. Over more time, they get more tender, but after certain periods of time, like 6 hours, they'll start to get gritty, and you don't want that. Here's some fish. Fish is really good because fish is easy to mess up on the stove. If you cook it too long, it gets rubbery, and you want your fish real silky. And as Jason Longston said, sous vide allows you to slowly cook the seafood over low heat, ensuring that the result will be silky and tender. And that's how you really want your meat. And cooking it in the sous vide machine will have that happen every time, unless you cook it too high or you just wing it and don't follow directions. Now, you can cook tons of types of meat. This is lamb. You can see it's perfectly cooked. Chicken, perfectly cooked. Anything, really. I mean, I'm sure you could cook vegetables in there too, but who would want to do that? Sous vide is widely used across the world. It was mainly used in restaurants as it came out. It was a big thing to keep steaks cooked for longer periods of time so that you could just pull it out, sear it real quick, and then have it at the table when somebody ordered it really quickly. So restaurants use it a lot. Here's some examples. It also is used at home. These are examples of how to use it. Use it in small, large, or just normal. These tubs are specially made for sous vide machines, or just this one. You can see how they have it. You can use it on your stovetop, and you don't even need to turn the stovetop on. These are some examples of some perfectly cooked meats, or just some dishes that you might serve up. I like steak. It's my preference. Yeah. Here are my sources. Two JSTOR articles and some other things. I would say try sous vide. Please try it. You won't regret it. You'll get a perfectly cooked steak every time. The purpose of this talk was to enlighten people in an easier way to make meat and steaks. And if you have the time for it, I mean, I would totally recommend it. And you can control it with your phone, so I'm sure you can put a steak in a bath of water and then turn it on in an hour and a half before you get home, and you'll come home to a steak that's ready to be seared and eaten. So I try it. As long as you follow the recipe, you'll get a perfect steak every time. Thank you.